Hi everybody, this is Blossom, and today we will talk about a blackberry. But before we start, I want to ask all of you something. I am very curious about how you work with the Ogham. Do you work with it at all already, or do you use it for divination? Did you make already your Ogham staves, or do you work with it in ritual or other magical workings? How do you connect with the trees? And then also, is the tree meditation in this playlist that I've made very early on this Ogham journey, is this helpful? Did you try it already? So you can see I have many questions and I would love to hear from you. Just leave me a comment. Okay, so let's move on to the blackberry. We find blackberry or Muin in the tree calendar from September the 2nd until September 29th. The letter is M. Colors, there are varied colors. The animal that is associated with it, or the animals, are lizard and titmouse. And the flower associated with it is valerian. So when we talk about the colors, I tend to have it as the name suggests, a bit more black or very dark purple and a dark green. That's how I associate the colors with the blackberry. Okay, so now for the lore and legend. We often see Muin referred to the vine, but as there are no native vines in the Celtic world, it is now commonly agreed that Muin refers to the blackberry. And I think in some oracles, Celtic tree oracle or Ogham oracles, I'm not sure, that there is still more the association with the vine. I'm not really sure about that because I don't have those oracles, so if you have them, please let me know. Muin has three different meanings in Old Irish. Firstly, as a cognate with the Welsh word MWN. How do you pronounce that? I don't know. And this is possibly referring to the throat or neck. Other interpretations of Muin are to be wily, a ruse, and love or esteem. It is possible that those who originally used the Ogham were aware of all three meanings and found within them the poetic reference to the qualities and energies they wanted to refer to via the blackberry. This is perhaps what Cuchullin's word Ogham referred to when calling to mind the throat, indeed the path of the voice that has three vines or strands of meaning. Using the voice was a primary tool of the Fili, the Irish poets, not only to entertain but to give voice to the spirits, expressing divine wisdom and prophecy. Both blackberry and the other plant most associated with Muin are both used to make wine, whose intoxicating properties were in ancient times often associated with inducing prophetic verse. It is significant how quickly brambles are able to reclaim a patch of land for the wild. They send out their tendrils, which take root again, tethering the vine to the ground every few feet rather than growing from a single root stem. As a result, brambles grow in hoops. In ancient times, it was a custom to pass babies through these brambles to secure good luck for their lives ahead. This is similar to another folk healing technique where the people passed babies or sick persons through a stone with a hole in the middle. Both the stone and the tethered brambles are strongly connected to the earth and its energies, drawing in the negative and giving out restorative energy. Eating blackberries is also good for the same reason. When you gather them during the waxing moon, they are said to give protection from ill will. In folklore, blackberry is linked with the fairies. In France, for example, eating blackberries used to be considered taboo, as it was kept as food for the fairies alone. And still today in some parts of Britain and even here in Germany I've heard this, it is tradition that the berries should not be picked after Samhain, as they belong to the Fae and should not be touched. And I do that, you know, after Samhain, no blackberries for me anymore. Blackberry patches are a great shelter for the fairies and animals alike. They provide excellent food and protection due to its many thorns. Angus called Muin the proverb of slaughter, referring to its fierceness. The juice of the berries reminds us of blood, and its extreme persistence makes it comparable to a warrior's stamina. The blackberry is an important power plant in the Celtic tradition due to its strong life force. It is said if we have a blackberry winter, this is when the dew on the blossoms is frozen in the spring, that this is a sign of an abundant harvest to come. In the Irish tale of the other world, The Voyage of Maldwyn, Maldwyn and his men arrive at an island covered with berries that save them from starvation and bring them renewal, easing the exhaustion of their long and challenging travels. We can also find the bramble in the fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty. There it shows us its significance to protect, enclose and contain in magical ways, providing the boundary for the spell of sleep, also serving as a test for the adventurous hero. The tale of Sleeping Beauty and Maldwyn's voyage can be seen as a quest of the soul, the internal treasure gained by working with such strong earth energy, and the inevitable tests of endurance helps the hero to discover his or her inherited connection to the source and wholeness. This is the paradox of the blackberry. Its fruit and thorns can illustrate the often contradictory human condition. Blackberry teaches the importance of harvest and gathering as well as patience, getting through the brambles to gain treasure, the vitamin-rich fruit. It teaches humans the importance of living in harmony with nature and acting at the right time. As a food-producing plant, it is concerned with attending to the body's needs and the needs of the community to endure through the harsh winter. It can only do this if the human thinks ahead and gather when they can in preparation. It is not possible before or after the appropriate time. Thoughts, dreams and talents also need to be harvested at the appropriate time. And also John Matthews writes in The Celtic Shaman the phrase strongest of effort about the Ogham Muin. Okay, let's move on to the magical uses. So a technique that you can use to work with blackberry is to journey or visualize yourself becoming the blackberry and connecting a variety of other trees in turn. When you have practiced this a few times, it is possible to extend the exercise and try with a group of trees at the same time. This exercise can be quite grounding and develop skills in working multidimensionally and with a whole community of energies. Its binding abilities are also useful in court magic and binding spells of many kinds, but know that its friendly and uniting capacities makes it ill-suited for spells of negative intention. You can use the blackberry leaves in spells for protection, money and abundance, as well as healing. A simple spell to attract money is to write your name upon a leaf in a felt-tip pen, wrap it in deep blue cloth and leave it in your purse or wallet. Dried leaves can be used in incense blends for prosperity and protection. You can also use a prickly blackberry whip and sweep it over your aura or around your home to banish negative energies, illness and hexes. Then you must bury the plant as soon as the job is done. You can use the different parts of Blackberry to invoke the goddess in all her aspects. Use the flowers for the maiden, the fruit for the mother goddess, and the prickly stems and dried fruit for the goddess as crown. In Cunningham's book we can find a spell to heal scalds by using 9 blackberry leaves. Dip the 9 blackberry leaves in spring water and then lay them gently upon the wound, while saying the following chant 3 times for each leaf. 3 ladies come from the east, 1 with fire and 2 with frost. Out with fire, in with frost. This is an old invocation to Bridget, the ancient Celtic goddess of poetry, healing and smithcraft. You can also use the leaves and berries in spells of wells. Or you can also weave a pentagram from the brambles to hang in the home for protection. And now going to its healing properties. So blackberry leaf tea is very good for coughs, cold and upset stomachs. The fruit is very rich in vitamin C and it was an essential part of our ancestors' diet. In medieval times, blackberry wine was taken to restore energy and hope, effects of its high life force and tenacity. As a vibrational essence, blackberry is excellent for breaking inertia and stirring up energy to get on with difficult and tiresome tasks. It is an important essence to take to develop initiative and mobility in the world of work and emotional or spiritual quests. Whatever you may want to avoid, try to take the essence and know that you can face and move through it. Use the stamina and effort that the blackberry provides. It teaches the pleasure of harvesting your own work and achievements in due time, as well as revealing the folly of sowing negativity or nothing at all. It activates the inner drive to begin projects, and it is helpful for writers and speakers due to its connection with the throat that we saw before. It aligns the mind with the will, making it easier to ground goals and ideals in the physical world. It is also used as a purifier and cleanser. And now we are already at the last part, the divination meaning. As an Ogham, Muin shows that the harvest you have sown is coming in due course. The fruition of plants are always in their timeliness and in the quality given to their achievement. Blackberry is kind and reveals the bounty of the goddess and nature herself, which gives out to those in need and those who have plenty, the deserving and the undeserving in equal share. All things come around, good and bad, and the things that need learning or attending to will have another chance at a later time if the present opportunity is missed. Let intuition be your guide and open your senses so as to speed up your inner development. You must learn to trust in them when they are of an intense nature. Don't just ignore them. Open your inner being so it can harvest and gather all signs and portents that it is capable of understanding. When you get Muin or Blackberry in a reading, it can also indicate a lessening of burdens. Otherwise, it could represent that you are, have, or will be entering a time of great fruitfulness, reaping the sweet-tasting harvest of a well-balanced summer season. It may be a time to feast or a time to relax and enjoy the results what you may have recently been working on. If you have recently been experiencing a period of depression or sadness, then Blackberry will also help to rebuild your defenses, offering you protection while you take some time out to take part in the celebration of nature's fruitful harvest. But remember not to pen yourself in for too long, for the long restrictive branches and thorns of the bramble, when left to their own devices, may prevent you from joining in once again with the flow of life. Otherwise, it could suggest to take time to think about what you say before you open your mouth, as the connection with the throat. But once you open it to speak, only speak the truth. It is better to be honest than to tell people what they want to hear just to gain popularity. And you see, again, as with all the Oghams, there are many meanings, and yeah, it's up to you what you take out of it. I hope this was helpful, and as always, you can find the text for the Ogham on my homepage. I will put the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Much love and blessings, and bye bye.